안녕하세요. 이쌤의 이유있는 영어의 이쌤입니다. 반갑습니다. 네, 여러분 정말 오랜만에 제가 컨텐츠를 올리게 되었는데요. 최근에 제가 좀 새로운 일을 시작하게 되어서요. 한두 달 정도 바빴습니다. 지금은 좀 안정이 되었고요. 네, 그래서 이제 카메라를 켰습니다. 오늘은 새로운 컨텐츠는 아니고요. 원서를 오랜만에 읽어보려고 합니다. 그럼 바로 시작하겠습니다. 네, 책 제목은 The Bookstore Valentine입니다. 그리고 레벨은 Puffin Easy to Read Level 2. 그리고 저자는 Barbara Maitland. 일러스트레이터죠. Pictures by David LaRochelle입니다. 네, 그럼 바로 첫 페이지부터 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. Chapter 1 Black Cat Bookstore. Mr. Brown loved his store. It was called the Black Cat Bookstore. The Black Cat Bookstore sold only ghost books, and it had a ghost. Mr. Brown loved his cat too. Her name was Cobweb. Cobweb was different from other cats. She ate only cheese, and she liked to play with mice. Mr. Brown and Cobweb lived above the store. They always ate cheese for breakfast, and they always opened the store together. One morning, Mr. Brown said, "Valentine's Day is coming. I will have a sale." He put a sign in the window. People saw the sign. They came into the store and crowded around Mr. Brown. "There are only 4 days until Valentine's Day," they said. "We need to buy gifts. Do you have the haunted honeymoon? Do you have my spooky sweetheart? Can you wrap up my beautiful ghost?" "One at a time, please," said Mr. Brown. The store grew more and more crowded. Crash! Books fell on the floor. Sometimes people dropped them. Sometimes the ghost did. Mr. Brown was very busy. He could not pick them up. That night, Mr. Brown was tired. "Valentine's Day is coming," he told Cobweb. "The store is so busy. I need help." He put a new sign in the window. It said, "Help Wanted." Then he and Cobweb went upstairs to bed. Chapter 2 The next morning, Mr. Brown got up early. He made some cheese snacks. Then he and Cobweb went down to the store. A woman was waiting outside. Mr. Brown let her in. "My name is Miss Button," the woman said. "I saw your sign. I like ghost books. I would like the job." "Good," said Mr. Brown. "Welcome to the Black Cat Bookstore. We have ghost books and a ghost." He held out the cheese. "Would you like some cheese?" "Oh, I love cheese," said Miss Button. Cobweb jumped up beside Miss Button. "This is my cat Cobweb," said Mr. Brown. Crash! A book fell off a shelf, and that was my ghost. "It is special." "Wonderful," said Miss Button. "I like cats, and I like ghosts too." "You're perfect," said Mr. Brown. He blushed. "For the job, I mean." They got to work. Mr. Brown sold books. He smiled when he saw Miss Button. Miss Button cut out paper hearts. She put them up all over the store. She smiled when she saw Mr. Brown. Miss Button was putting up hearts in the window when, crash, a book fell beside her. "Aha," she said to the mice, "so you're the ghost. How clever of you." At the end of the day, Miss Button said, "I have enjoyed my day." "I have enjoyed my day too," said Mr. Brown. "I think they like each other," Cobweb told the mice. Chapter 3 The next day, Mr. Brown put balloons around the store. He thought about Miss Button. "Perfect," he said to himself. Miss Button sold books. She thought about Mr. Brown. "Wonderful," she said to herself. At the end of the day, Mr. Brown said, "Miss Button, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I was wondering if..." "Yes," said Miss Button. Mr. Button turned red. Nothing. I will see you in the morning." On Valentine's Day morning, Mr. Brown went downstairs early. He took a paper heart from his pocket. He wrote in, "Miss Button, please have dinner with me tonight. Love, Morris Brown. He sighed. What if she said no? He asked Cobweb. He dropped the heart in the trash can. Mr. Brown was selling books when Miss Button arrived. She hung up her coat. She took a paper heart from her bag. She wrote on it, Mr. Brown, please have dinner with me tonight. Love, Emily Button. She sighed. What if he says no? She asked the mice. She left the heart on a shelf. Miss Button went to help Mr. Brown. Cobweb dipped her paw in the trash can. She fished out Mr. Brown's note. The mice took Miss Button's note from the shelf. They carried it to Cobweb. They're too shy to send these notes, said the mice. Maybe we can help, said Cobweb. I have a plan. Chapter 4. Cobweb walked over to Mr. Brown and Miss Button. She jumped on a bookcase. She dropped a note in front of Mr. Brown. The mice dropped the other note. It fell right in front of Miss Button. Mr. Brown and Miss Button picked up the notes. They both read them out loud. Please have dinner with me tonight. Dinner would be wonderful, said Miss Button. Perfect, said Mr. Brown. At the end of the day, Miss Button and Mr. Button went upstairs. Miss Button made carts out of string cheese. Mr. Brown made cheese pizza and cheesecake. Then they went back downstairs to the store. Miss Button lit candles. Mr. Brown put out the food. Can Cobweb and your ghost come to dinner too? Asked Miss Button. Ahem, said Mr. Brown. About my ghost. Don't worry, Norris, said Miss Button. I like mice. Emily, you are perfect, said Mr. Brown. They all sat together. Mr. Brown raised his glass. Two ghosts, Cobweb, and my bookstore Valentine, he said. 네, 오늘의 내용은 여기까지입니다. 내용이 마음에 드셨거나 도움이 되셨다면 좋아요와 구독 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.